Hello and good evening, and I do apologise, 4 minutes late. Jesus Christ. Day 4 of the LowCostbeer Advent Calendar. People are talking in the background, so let me just, if I can, scroll back up and there we go. Right. So, good evening, POW Allen, Kevin Parton, Carla Jade, ADC, and do apologise. I was lying on the settee, half falling asleep. Been a cold, wet day, so yeah. Just scroll back down, and yeah, everybody's here. Day 4 of the Advent Calendar. I will jump straight in. Grab the beer out. Bloody hell! Don't make it easy to get out of these fucking boxes. Pardon my French. So here we are. Good evening, Evil Ginger as well. So today's beer is from Turning Point Brew Company, Howling at Clouds Oatmeal Stout. There's the beer. Never had this beer before, so new beer for me. Most beers are, to be fair. I'm 4.4%, so a lowish ABV, probably a good thing because sneakily I had 2 strong beers tonight, so yeah, and I've got the bollocking to prove it. Evening, mate. Did you manage to get anything done at Cochlear today? Was it all frosted over? Initially, it was very snowy and wet on the floor. There's always work to do. As a gardener, there's always work to do. You can prune when you can't do groundwork, but I did, loads of stuff. Not a pleasant day by no means. Lots of rain, cold. Yeah, not the greatest of days to be a gardener. Let's put it that way. Join the wolf pack and sink your teeth into this oatmeal stout's complex flavours of chocolate and coffee. The smooth finish is sure to have you howling for more. And Turning Point Brew Company, Weatherby Road, Knaresborough, HG5 8U. Although, to be fair, that means nothing to me because I ain't got a clue where they're based. Back again while watching the football on TV. Who's playing football? Hope it's not Nottingham Forest at the moment because we're not doing good. We're having a bit of a shite spell of things. I do hope the manager makes it through this. Sometimes, injuries. We've got one of the best players in the Premier League, Owanwe. But last year he got injured for 2/3 of the season. This year looks like it's the same. When he comes back, he's scoring goals against everyone. But at the moment, we can't score goals for shit. And it's doing us really bad. AFC Wimbledon versus Ramsgate, FA Cup. All right, Ramsgate, Kent. I did have the wild turkey today. Yeah. I also had the tequila. Oh, that's what got me the bollocking. Yeah. My son walks in there and said, "Dad's had 2 beers, Mum." And I thought, "Oh, you little shit stirrer. Don't tell Mum that." So I need to make sure that I don't leave cans around, in case you get bollockins. No, LowCostbeer are based out of Cambridge in a place called St. Neots in Cambridge. Yeah, not in Southgate New Park. I wish it was that close. Oh, I'll be having amazing beers all the time and cheap because they're a lot cheaper than elsewhere, which is the thing. Good evening, London man. Was there a dark beer LowCostbeer box? No, there was only one Advent calendar from them. This one, just there. 60 quid, 24 different Advent beers. Gotta be honest, for the price that I paid, whether or not the beers are low date or slightly out of date, the beers themselves are well above 60 quid. The price I paid. I ain't checked dates. I'm not really interested in dates anyway. As long as the beer tastes good, that's really all that matters to me. Businesses make profit. I understand that. And a lot of craft beer these days is very, very pricey. I understand that craft beer breweries need to, look after their prices. I get all that all day long. But sometimes for the people who buy beers, it's out of their reach. But 60 quid for 24 beers, so 24, basically £2.50 a beer, if my mathematics are right. And that's with delivery, £2.50. So the beers I've had so far are well above £2.50 in price. So I'm happy with what I've got. Regardless of the date on the can, or if it's low date, if it's short date. Even if it's short date, it doesn't mean shit to me. As long as the beer tastes good, I don't care. I'm sure there's a craft beer distributor that operates up in Bestwood at Southglade. Yes, there is, Carla. Or Adventure Beer operate in Southglade. Yeah, or they did. Whether they still do, I don't know. He operates obviously all the British, East Midlands breweries, but whether he's still there because of the price of units these days. I did hear that he was going to Lenton Lane and just operating out of Lenton Lane Brewery because they've got a bit more room for him. Paul, I absolutely agree. Dates are neither here nor there. I just drank a German beer 6 months out today and it still had life in it. Yeah. A lot of beers, especially beers like Impy Stouts and dark beers, are actually better when they're out of date. Some of the freshest hoppy beers, they may be the ones that suffer. They're the ones you need to be drinking totally in date. But not always. Not always is that the case. Just having a Brewdog Rattle and Rum. Fair play. Good beer. £4.25 each from Top Valley Tesco. Picked up 4 for free, so it's at £12.75. Yeah. For 4 cans, £12.75 is a fair enough price. Rattle and Rum from Brewdog. Brewdog, they love themselves. They have done for a long, long time. But they brew some good beer. They brew some shite beer as well, but they do brew some good beer. So, 4.4%, Howling at Clouds, Oatmeal Stout. Very dark pour, slightly off Whitehead. Very milky, chocolatey, milky aroma. Don't know when you get it on your nose. But yeah, that's very nice, that is. Very easy drinking, very acceptable. I've kept this Rattling Rum at room temperature. Fine stouts do flourish under slightly warm. Exactly. Yeah. For me, all stouts should be drank at room temperature and above. As warm as you can get it, as long as it's not 30 degrees, obviously. But yeah, room temperature is king for stouts. It brings out the aroma, brings out the flavour much, much better. Like double IPAs, pale ales, for me, under room temperature, about 12 degrees, cask beer temperature. You'll get people who go to pubs and they'll drink it at 5 degrees. 5 degrees, you're not getting the flavour. You're not getting the aroma. I've drank many beers at 5 degrees in the pub. Cask, sour beers, lagers, and they need to be at warmer temperatures. Lagers are probably the only ones that need to be at the lowest temperature. I absolutely agree. The blue Guinness pumps that used to be have like a little blue icon. Yeah, I mean, I used to drink Guinness at that temperature, and it tasted great, but it did not bring out the flavour or the aroma in the Guinness. So again, wrong temperature. exactly, Paul. You know, dates don't mean anything. Dates are best before, not used by, you know, you're not eating a sausage, you're drinking a beer. And in all dates, unless the brewery themselves check out the beer and drink that beer at that date, and, you know, scientifically drink a beer at a date a year on, from the you know, just before the best before, 2 months after, 4 months after, 6 months, a year. How the hell does anybody know what's the premium date for a beer? You don't. I know people, so fucking drunk, another beer reviewer, one of the icons of beer reviews when I was starting out, and he ages beer. And so, you know, we need to get away from this concept that, you know, dates mean are absolutely the God thing. They're not at all. Good evening, Thomas, by the way. And just pouring out today, Ellen's Brewing Nettle Thrash and nothing more. Exactly. No. And in some ways, a bit of date on beer actually improves the beer. I mean, there's limits. I wouldn't drink a 4% beer that's 5 years out of date. No. A 10% beer that's 5 years out of date, then that's an interesting proposition, because you're getting a very, very interesting beer that's got age on it. You know, it actually improves the taste. Certain beers, yes, all day long, better with ABV. Guinness is actually one of those beers that improves. 2 years on Guinness is actually a good thing. Although I tried to get 2 years on Guinness at Sainsbury's when I worked at Beeston, they wouldn't sell it me. You know, I was going to pay 10 pence a can, but they wouldn't sell it me. Miserable bastards. Pardon my French. Can't rewatch your Rattle Mum review other than this line. Yeah. The Vocation Mint Impy Stout. Yeah, the Vocation Mint Impy Stout. I liked it, but it had some very funny flavours. Yeah. I think the Rattle and Rum was a better beer than the Vocation, being honest. I've not had a Rattle and Rum for a while. What amuses me with Brewdog is they called it a small batch release. How fucking small are their releases? Because Alter Ego, who I did the Raggy Avenue beer with, a small batch release is 25 litres, which is fucking small. You know, basically it's like 40 pints. Not a lot. So what are Brewdog's small batch releases? Is that like 4,000 litres, you know, small batch? But nonetheless, a great beer nonetheless. Good evening, Jimmy. How are you? So, back to Turning Point in their Oatmeal Stout. Really chocolatey, really milky chocolatey stout this is. Yeah. When a big brewery calls it a small batch release, it's very different to when a small brewery calls it a small batch. If you're a brewery that puts out 1 million litres a year or 10 million litres a year, and then 1 million litres is maybe a small batch for you. Yeah, exactly, Thomas. Exactly. Yeah. But for most breweries, you know, 200 litres, 150 litres is classed as a small batch release. Yeah. It's amazing how the perception of small batch is something different altogether. This is actually a really nice beer. Turning Point, love the brewery. They've done a lot of collabs in Nottingham with Castle Rock. I think with Neon Raptor, and I think also with Black Iris. So, yeah, and I think even Liquid Light, as far as I remember. So a good brewery. I thought they were based in Sheffield, to be fair, but I might be wrong. Somewhere up north, anyway. I I agree, Carla. Supermarkets, they're very tired. I cannot understand in any way, shape, or form why Bar Humbug is not back in supermarkets. Marston's are a macro brewery, a mega brewery, much, much bigger than Brewdog, and yet Bar Humbug is not back in supermarkets. To me, it speaks volumes that Marston's, now owned by Carlsberg rather, are on a downward trajectory. They have dumped breweries these last few years, and it's all about the pubs. It's all about small, the beers that are already out there. They're not interested in that the beers that don't sell a lot. They're interested in Hobgoblin for starters, and the Hobgoblin brand, King Goblin, I suppose. And it's a real shame. It is a shame. POW, Alan, do you think so? For me, Morrison's, their pricing is shit. £2.75 for Wainwright's Gold. Everyone else has got it for £2. They may have the slightly bigger version of ale selections. I get you what you're saying. I've got to be honest, since I worked in Sainsbury's in 2015 when I left, supermarkets, ale selections has nosedived. It is shit compared to what it used to be. They're all crap. They've literally got 33% of the beers they used to have, which is really sad, and it's only, I find now in supermarkets that it's only the breweries that are big enough to brew beers and still make some sort of profit that can supply to supermarkets. And you'll find that a lot of these breweries bottle their beers up, put it in tanks, send it down to those who can bottle it en masse. And I'm talking Marston's, like Castle Rock in Nottingham, send their beers to Marston's to be bottled. They brew it, Marston's bottle it. Never tastes the same, unfortunately. It is what it is, Carla, it's a lot cheaper to drink at home as well. Yeah. And again, it's a lot, the hassle of going out, I go out to a pub, I've got to pay for a pint for myself, a pint for my wife. She'll drink lager or a lager shandy. So a lager shandy, I'll drink a pint, which is literally £4. She'll drink a lager shandy, it's £6. So it's £10 for a pint. And she's not really bothered about her drink. I'm really interested in what I'm drinking. And it's really, it's an expensive night out. And that's the way this is crazy, this thing that lemonade is more expensive than lager. For fuck's sakes, lemonade's not even got beer in it. Why is lemonade more expensive for that moment? I agree, Carla. The Sainsbury's in Daybook, my old Sainsbury's, I used to work there 5 years. The craft beer bit, not great. Lots of Brewdog, mind you. James, the Rampant Line reviewed the one Black Iris, Limp Biscoff. Yes. Rampant Line came to my renewals, wedding renewals, our wedding renewals, and the next day they were going Nottingham breweries, so Rampant, Black Iris, Neon Raptor, and Liquid Light. So I was supposed to join them, but obviously, one, I was absolutely knackered from the day before, and and we just wanted to sit down and do nothing. But it would have been good to actually go around with him, Harry, and Adam. Blue Nose Beer Reviews and Mersey Beers. But I'm glad he had a good time in Nottingham. Well, mostly at least. Yeah. Yeah, Morrison's, it depends. The craft beer Morrison's are a lot better than the standard Morrison's. We've got two in Nottingham. In the two stores I go to in Nottingham, we've got a craft beer version of Morrison's, and we've got a standard Morrison's. Very different in their beers. One's got fridges, one hasn't, and the beers are very different as well. Very illuminating that you'd have a very different selection, literally a few miles apart. Limp Biscoff, have I tried it, Jimmy? Yes. Day one. Went straight down to the brewery the minute it was released. Absolutely amazing. Biscoffy Stout. The reviews on the channel. If you search Limp Biscoff and Raggy, you'll see the review. Amazing bit. Absolutely amazing. Oh, fucking brilliant. Yeah, yeah. If you like this, that sort of flavour, you'll love it. £5 for a fiver. Fucking that was a while ago. Joseph Keller chocolate stout. Joseph Keller chocolate stout. Can't think I know that myself. I bet once you say something else, I'll probably remember it. Paul, it depends where supermarkets want to go. If I was supermarket owner at the moment, I would literally dump craft beer. I would have as minimal craft beer as possible, because craft beer is expensive and people can't afford it. Most people can't afford craft beer. Let the craft beer buyers go to the craft beer shops. I would go fully back to modern traditional German lagers and so on. Get the selection at a price which is easy, easy to buy. Get people back into beer. Craft beer is expensive, and the craft beer in supermarkets is not the best on the whole. Not all of it, obviously, but on the whole is not the best representation of the craft beers that are out there. Craft beers generally cost more to make, much more to produce. So, you're going to pay more. People don't realise this in supermarkets. I didn't realise it either, to be honest. I'm just as equally as guilty. And get them, go back to more modern traditional, go back to more local, go back to breweries that can afford to put their beers in supermarkets. The bigger breweries can afford to do it. Go behind them fully so that they can showcase what's the best about beer. Not just showcase themselves, but say, here is beer. We are the flagship of what you should come into. Come into beer. We'll show you the wider world. That for me is where supermarkets need to go to. If I was actually back in supermarket, back in supermarkets. I'd love to go doing brewing. Brewing shitty, boring stuff would not interest me as much. Brewing stuff that elevates, brewing interesting stuff is where you want to be at, obviously. But I do understand that you've got to brew the pale ales, the boring stuff, just to bring people into the industry, Carla. So I understand that, and it's a funny thing doing beer reviews. You look at a lot of the beers. I'm not really a 4% beer fan, so I get pissed off and bored with the 4%ers just like everybody else does. But I absolutely understand that 80% of the people out there are the people that drink the shit that none of the rest of us want to drink. Those of us who want to drink the sours, the impy stouts, the good stuff, the strong stuff, are not the majority. The majority are those who like modern traditional beers, aka supermarket beers, and then they'll come into this craft beer arena and they'll drink pale ales, 4%ers, 4% stouts. They don't want the big stuff. That is interesting, you know. I absolutely agree, London man. ABVs are falling. Yes. 3.4% now. There's a lot of them 3.4% beers. Fuck's sakes. And cask beer, yeah, due to duties, yeah, it is a shame. Once found a crate of ale that had been nicked from a pub, left in long grass for about 5 years. 5 years? Shit. The grass found the beer, me and my parks department mates drunk it. Tasted fine, still here, low. Do you know, if the ABV is above a certain ABV, I don't see a problem with it. I was told by a certain brewery who did Ragged's Golden Ale that if the beer's in a metal cask, sealed, dates really don't mean anything until you crack it open. And what are your drinking habits on Christmas Day? Usually cooking fucking dinner for the grandkids and my children. So the wife's doing the cooking, as the ladies seem to do, you know. I do a lot of the cleaning, especially when the dishwasher doesn't work. And yeah, I'll have Bailey's, you know, Irish cream liqueur. I'd usually have a spirit, but you know, don't want to be getting drunk too early. But yeah, I'll certainly do some reviews on Christmas Day. Whether I do a live, I've been thinking about it today, and I thought live reviews on Christmas Day. No, not really. It's not really the thing, you know, for my own family and other families as well. Talking for 40 minutes, quick 10-minute review. Yeah, that's good. 40 minutes, yeah, no, not really the thing. No ale before 3 p.m. Got to last through Boxing Day as well. Well, Boxing Day for us has turned into a day where we'll have steaks. So basically, Boxing Day now is a steak day. It depends, Carla, if I get a bottle of wine gifted. If I get a bottle of wine gifted to me, I may have a bottle of wine for Christmas Day. A nice red. It depends. It all depends, to be honest. You know, especially in these last year or two, it depends on what money you've got. And, you know, if you've not got the money to spend, then you don't spend it. You know, never go into debt to pay for Christmas. Never borrow, you know, put it on the card. We'll only get for Christmas what we can afford. So if it's a leaner Christmas, it's a leaner Christmas. But the kids know that anyway, which is a good thing. You know, we need to teach people, our children, grandchildren, that we'll get the best that we can afford. If we can't afford it, then it is what it is. You know, Santa can't afford to buy you those presents. And that's the way we've always been. If I've had good years, and the internet sometimes has been amazing, I've had some amazing years, spent $1,500 on the kids. Yeah, ridiculous. Fucking hell. And then there's other years where it's been less. This is probably the worst year that we've ever had, but we've had so much to pay out for. So, you know, me and the wife have decided a £100 limit on each other's. I've actually spent 120 on her, and she's spent 100 on me. So I beat her. But yeah, it's all about limits and you know, keeping it real in the grand scheme of things. Turkey crown, Carla. Yeah, I've done the full turkey. You cook a fucking turkey, half of it's wasted. What's the point? Buy a turkey crown. It's a quarter of half the price probably. You're going to eat most of it. It's dry anyway. Turkey's proper dry meat. Yeah. So that's what we go for. Turkey crown, all the trimmings. We've got a dishwasher, so that's good, you know. And we enjoy a good Christmas, you know. turkey crab. 3rd year running, we're going out for a curry. Fair play. We all do what we do, don't we, for Christmas? Some people go out, 70 quid a head, 80 quid a head for dinner. Pricey, fucking pricey, you know. But then again, the poor people that are working in restaurants on Christmas Day to serve you your fucking dinner. Do Cockcliff do a Christmas lunch for staff? Not that I've come across, no. There is a Christmas party, but I'm not really a party person. I think it's because I work on my own outside all year that, like today, I've had a really depressing day working out in the piss pouring rain, cold fucking rain, and I'm depressed as hell. My mental health is at the lowest. I'm there. I'm really freezing. I fucking hate people. And I don't want to talk to anybody, you know, because I feel so depressed. And yeah. So, and because I don't really interact with the inside, because 99% of the time I'm outside, you know, 99.9%. And I'm not really talking to them. The only time I talk to the staff is on my wedding and when I go in for a coffee, and I talk and I'm really nice to them. But when I'm depressed, I'm depressed, and I can't help being really down. You know, I can't help it. You know, today I was ultra down. You know, walking in and I'm fucking wet through, frozen, freezing, and I'm gonna smile. I'm not gonna smile, no. So when they ask, "Are you all right?" I said, "No, I'm fucking freezing." And it is what it is. I can't help being honest in that. Having a few beers is a good thing, I think. You know, getting absolutely rat-arsed every night is not a good thing. Yeah, tonight I kind of broke the barriers a little bit. I had one too many that I shouldn't have done, so I've got a bit of a bollocking. These things happen, but on the whole, you know, I try to be really, really good. Good evening, Mr. Bramwell, Backroom Brewery. It's been a while, matey. I've been seeing you on the internet. Yes, I keep seeing flashes of you doing your with Red Willow Brewery. I've had their beers, amazing beers. How are you, matey? It has been a while. Good evening, Mr. Bruno's Beer Reviews, Mr. Harry. Massive thank you for the tour around Ramsbury Brewery. It was amazing to see you and have a good tour around the brewery. Lovely brewery, lovely workplace, and you know, great cask washer as well. Yeah, especially in the middle of fucking winter. Don't be washing cask outside and getting freezing cold. Oof. And that's something about the lives which are great, because it gives me the chance to talk to people. You know, I love doing reviews, standard reviews, where I just do a review and I do what I do. But it's nice to be able to chat to people, especially when I haven't chatted for a while. And the beer world, it's a world which is so interesting. Looking forward to having some time over Christmas, just have a few dark beers and escape into a Star Wars marathon. Absolutely love Star Wars. Yeah. Oh, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Why is it, though, that I fall asleep on my favourite films? Put Harry Potter on. Love Harry Potter. Love Star Wars. Love Lord of the Rings. 20 minutes in, fast asleep. All of a sudden, wake up, fucking end of the movie. And it's like, fuck's sakes. I've missed the movie. It happens all the time. And yeah, it's absolute Achilles heel. Mr. Rusco, he's still around. He was here last night. He dropped in last night for 2 minutes. It's amazing, you know, back in the COVID days, how everybody, you know, the live reviews was a bit of an oasis for people to come to enjoy a bit of realism. These days, people have got realism en masse because they can go back to work and pubs and whatnot. And I see this in all walks of my wife with her running group. When it was COVID, there was literally 40 or 50 women running around. Now there's 4 or 5. Why? Because everyone's back to normality. And it's so surprising how normality is. Bramall, absolutely, mate. I'm deadly, absolutely deadly. Yeah, I've got up the stairs in a minute and chat to the wife and try not to fall asleep. These things happen. Wimbledon versus Ramsgate. Jimmy Savile drama. How did Jimmy Savile for years get away with what he did? This is where people with power can manipulate people and get away with it. You know, Jimmy Savile, dirty bastard, should never have got away with what he got away with. You know, had he been doing that to my kids or even tried, he'd have got a good hiding. And I'd have warned him to his face. I'd have says, I'm going to kill you, you cunt. And I don't care, fuck who you are. And somebody should have said that to him. I mean, I know the Sex Pistols, the guy behind the Sex Pistols called him out all those years ago, like 40 fucking years ago. In the 70s, he called him out before anybody officially said anything. And it's amazing that he did. Good on him. Coach House Brewery. Oh, right, yeah, not had that brewery before. Bent's Garden Centre. Fair play, fair play. 16% stout from Nogny. Good evening, Alan. I recognise your name there. 16% stout. Fair play. That's a decent ABV, that is. Yeah. He was at the Ritz nightclub down Parliament Street back in the 80s, was it? Dirty bastard. Could you imagine as a parent, your child sat on his knee and he's bouncing them around, daughter or son, and he's a dirty, what he was. And then you found out later what he was. You know, you'd want to batter the hell out of him. You know, let's be fair. Absolutely disgusting. How he got away with it. Disgusting. People in power. I have no respect for people in power who get away with abusing children, you know, being abusing their power, you know, hurting women. You know, it's disgusting. I hate that. Hate it. You know, we are all, regardless of colour, sexuality, money, you know, we are all human beings, you know, above everything. None of that, not anything should matter apart from the fact that you are a human being. Disgusting. And anyway, back to beer. Start preaching in a minute. I don't want to go down the preaching route. Cheshire Gold, right? Yeah. Necessary Evil, Thornbridge. Oh, amazing, amazing. Thornbridge Brewery. Yeah. I've just read it there. Yeah. Amazing brewery, amazing beer. I love Thornbridge. One day I'll get there. Lakes Brew Co and Rivington collab. Doesn't really hide the booze for 7%. Right, yeah. I need to have a Lakes Brew Co beer. I've had one, but I need to have some more to be fair. Triple Sec is my interest, Mr. Mersey Beers. I had a barrel-aged beer from Blue Monkey earlier, and it was Wild Turkey, which is a bourbon. But all I got was Triple Sec and Contro orange on the beer. You know, don't know why, but that's what I got. So for me, from Turning Point, Howling at Clouds, Oatmeal Stout, 4.4%. Lovely chocolatey oatmeal stout. Really getting the flavourful chocolate on this. Which beer badges did you have on your barrel wedding cake? All local breweries. Basically, every single local brewery was on my wedding cake, and a few, like the likes of Brid Brewer, you know, breweries that have become friends with Raggy's Beer Reviews, basically. Yeah. I wanted to share the love on my on the barrel wedding cake, which wasn't the proper wedding cake by no means. My wife had a proper wedding cake. That was only the secondary wedding cake, but it was to show the love to just, you know, from my hobby as a doing beer reviews, you know, or sort of beer reviews. And yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah, AKA beer reviews. Yeah, pissed up beer reviews, all sorts of beer reviews, but yeah, beer reviews. And yeah, it was to show my love to all to breweries that have been kind and friends of Raggy's Beer Reviews, and that's primarily what the barrel wedding cake was about. Yeah. It was about being nice and giving back. Social media is the most powerful tool in the world, and using that to give back to breweries, to pubs, is immensely powerful. Even in your own personal feed, to thank a pub for a great day out, for great beers, it's amazing for them. Trust me. You have a good beer at a pub. Oh, I went to such and such a pub today, you know, Shield Manor. Yeah, maybe not Shield Manor, Green King. But you get to a pub and you say, I've had a great beer today, I've had great food. You post that, tag them in, they post it. It's great for them. It's proper. It's feedback for them that's amazing. And that is the powerful world of social media. I like the Battle of Trads as well, because it's cheap beers that you can do a battle with, where people can join in. I will be doing more after Christmas, trust me, I will. I love trad beers. I think trad beers are the most accessible. Yeah. The only problem is these days there's less trad beers in the supermarket than there ever has been. It's the most lean period for modern traditional as it ever has been. But that's the world at the moment, unfortunately. I better watch my time. I'm going to get a bollocking off the wife. So, Turning Point Brew Company, 4.4%, dark pour, slightly off whitehead, lovely chocolatey beer. This is oatmeal stout, but really chocolatey. Very easy drinking, very nice from Turning Point, all day long. Good 4.3 out of 5. Great brewery, lots of collaborations with Nottingham breweries, and yeah, really good. Day 4 of the LowCostbeer Advent Calendar, and every beer has been a good beer, which is something I really like as well. Exactly, Adam. I like a good beer is a good beer. Apart from Shepherd Neame's glucose beers at the moment, what the fuck are they doing to their beers? Why the hell would you put glucose in beers that are the best, some of the best beers in Britain? God knows why they're doing it. Pisses me off. Good evening, Mr. Dungeon Brewing. Mr. Mark. Sadly, I've got to go because I'm going to get a bollocking otherwise. But thank you for joining, and hope you're well. I'm sure there'll be some more dark beers in the Advent Calendar, or calendars, because I've got 2. And as always, massive thank you for everybody for joining. Great beer tonight. Great chat as well. And now I've got to go upstairs and get a bollocking. Well, half a bollocking. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't win them all. Yeah, that's my own fault. Shouldn't have drank a strong beer. I mean, my son caught me out, little bugger. Kick his arse later. But in any case, I assume the same, Adam. Yeah. Shepherd Neame, terrible. Back at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night with more. Oh no, I'm not. Shit. I'm actually out tomorrow night at a Madness concert. So I've got to review the beers beforehand before I go out. Ouch. Thought it was Thursday. It's tomorrow. Only just found out earlier. So it'll be Wednesday when I'm back on live. But tomorrow there'll be some more beer reviews. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Oh, did I sound drunk? Hope not. Oh, I hope not.